Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Cindy Daychuck with Queen Bee Creations, and today's project is this little cabinet that I thrifted. Now, it has a price tag on it from Pier 1 for $30. I paid $3.49. That's more reasonable. It's obviously pretty old, pretty tired, and it just needs a little bit of zhuzhing, a little bit of love. So we're not going to do like a major finish to this, but we are going to clean it up and make it infinitely more usable. Now, I am going to want to pop off these little things if I can. We'll see how it goes. But what I do want to do is I want to paint it in this sandstone color. It's kind of like this blushy beige sort of color. So we're going neutral, but I'm really dying to see this on a piece. And before I look at using on an entire cabinet or buffet or something like that, it makes more sense to be able to test these things out on a much smaller piece. And that's one of the reasons that I like thrifting little cabinets like this, is that it gives me the opportunity to be able to see colors on something more than just like a candlestick. Helps me be able to envision potentially what they're going to look like. Paint, that's usually how I end up with paint in my hair, because I do that while I've got a paintbrush in my hand. Okay, look at that color. So it's not a pink, and it's not quite a beige, and it's not, this is just a really lovely, soft kind of neutral that you're gonna be able to play off against a bunch of other colors. But look at the coverage of that Alchemy paint. Just, that's one coat. I might not need anything more than one coat. That's kind of awesome. So I'm gonna get this painted out. Gotta work on getting those knobs off. And then we'll be back for just a little bit of our touch-ups on this one. But really, the piece itself just needs some cleaning up and some tidying up more than anything else. But oh, I could see using that color on a much larger dresser and doing some aging with it. This color would really take like some brown waxes or aging dust, or that's kind of lovely. All right, I'm gonna carry on, and then we'll be back to see what else we're gonna do. Well, I try really hard not to come into the shop on Sunday. I mean, I'm driving over here and I took a call from somebody saying, hey, are you open? As it turns out, they are 3 hours away, and I'm not coming back here in 3 hours. But I was home. And it doesn't mean that just because I'm not here on Sundays doesn't mean I'm not doing work for the shop, because that's usually when I get to pay bills and do accounting and edit videos, all that fun stuff. So as it turned out, this video, which obviously you're watching, came out on a Monday. I was editing on the Sunday, and that's usually how it goes. Only to discover that one big critical section was weird. It had all these weird glitches and skips, and there must have been some kind of weird staticky, I don't know, internet connection thing going on. And to say, gee, it would be perfect and ideal if I always checked when I'm done filming a section whether it filmed properly or not. But I'm generally stopping filming because customers walked in, and I put life, right? So I popped back to the store for you guys to be able to show you the products that I put together to use in the next segment that you're gonna see. So you're gonna see me using them, but I wanted to explain where the heck they came from. So here's the idea. I wanted to do a raised stencil on the drawer fronts of our little cabinet. Now, this fits perfectly. I don't want the bee because the knob's gonna go there. And I don't want the crown because it goes off the end of the drawer. But I do want the wreath. So just something nice and simple. Now, when you're doing a raised stencil, that means that ultimately, let me grab the little tool that I used. You're gonna be using a little palette knife, a little spatula, whatever you wanna call it, to be able to apply a thickened paste. You could use wood filler or some spackling. You could use paint mixed with some baking soda. I have elected to trial, this is my first opportunity to try, the Fresco powder from Fusion. I carry it, so it makes sense that I would try it at some point. So what I wanted to do was add it into a colored medium so that I don't have to paint that raised stencil after. I mean, could you imagine going back and having to paint all those little leaves on 4 drawers? I don't have that kind of time, and I don't have that steady a hand. I'm older now. It would shake. It would drive me nuts. So I wanted to put it into a paint color that would work on our drawer. So I wanted it in a light gold. This gold from Fusion is way too bright for our piece, right? We've got that soft kind of sandstone color happening. This just doesn't work in my eyes. I had from Michael's, the craft store, this light gold on the shelf. And I like it. It just didn't, it actually is paler than this because it's a little more translucent. It doesn't have the opacity of the Fusion paint. So what I did do was I took some of this and I mixed it with some of this. So this would deepen this color a little bit, strengthen it a little bit, and create some opacity to it for using the mix. And then I added in my Fresco powder. So I ended up with this lovely, soft, thick, buttery base. And this is what you'll see me in this upcoming section. What you'll see me applying to our drawer front through our little stencil. When the next video picks up, it's actually when I've applied this, and then a customer came and I was with them and me coming back. So it's actually been sitting in the stencil for a half hour, maybe longer. She was here for a while. And that's usually how things go. So sometimes I come back and things are all dried up and hard, and and then it's an oops. But this time it all worked out. You'll see. But sorry you're getting me and not the actual stirring, but I think that you're with me. Don't be afraid to mix product. The only thing that you make sure is that this is a water-based product, that's a water-based product. So I'm mixing similar foundations together. I'm not going to be mixing an oil with a water. So just make sure, know your products, but don't hesitate to mix, products from different lines if their foundation is very similar. Depending upon what you're doing, it'll all be fine. All right, that's my life trying to get projects done. Let's see how this goes, because I've just been with a customer for half an hour and I'm hoping this isn't anchored down at all. No, it looks awesome. And that's just the kind of color that I was looking for. Something that's not too garish. It stands out, but it still works, right? We can still see some contrast. So what I have to do is I need to get the rest of these drawers done, and I need to get the little knobs done to put back. I'm going to do them in the gold. Let me make sure I get this the right way around. And let this all kind of harden overnight. I wish I remember where on the bee. I think that's where on the bee. Just, oops. Okay, and this is still pasty. Oh, okay, I still have time. Lots of times I come back and things are all dried and unusable, and I'm starting over. Hopefully I get through this before the doorbell goes again. Oh, so much easier to lift when you lift it in time. The only other little, not dilemma that I have, but decision is I do have this raised scroll work up at the top that now that I've added a raised finish on the drawers, kind of necessitates that I do something with it. So I am looking at maybe trying to take that gold and add it to that. So I'm just kind of taking my paintbrush, and it's got highs and lows, so I am not going to paint the lows. I'm just going to take that brush over the top and add that kind of light shimmery gold color all over that, and then leave that to dry. Okay, let's take a look at our finished project. So this is how our little cabinet turned out. So cute, nice and simple. So the little bit of gold up here on these raised carved details kind of ties in here because these are also raised. Using that fresco rather than just stenciling it means that we've got a little bit more interest. It's not a flat finish anymore. There's texture on here. So it kind of fits with some of the texture that's happening up top. Now this was my first time using this particular color, Sandstone, in the Alchemy line. And you can maybe see what I'm saying about it. It's got this slight sandy blush kind of going on. Beautiful, beautiful, subtle color. And that gold that we mixed up, I think, is just kind of the right shade. It's soft. You can see the details on there, but it's not a really bright or bold or garish gold. So it was dark enough to be able to see the details on here, but it wasn't too crazy. Now, the other thing that I did, because we used the Fresco powder, and it was my first time trialing this, I really liked how easily it mixed into the paint, how easily it spread, and I was able to manipulate it with the little trowel. But I put the leftover into this little container and sealed it up. And I wanted to see whether or not it's usable afterward, right? So obviously it would have gone rock hard, left out in the air. But let me just see. No, still perfectly soft, perfectly usable. So that's awesome, because if you overmix, which I always do, and especially on something like this where I was mixing up a specialty color, I don't want to run short for my project. So this was able, no problem, to be stored. It's still soft. I don't know how long it would last. I mean, there's still some air in the container, but it's still really, really soft the next day. So I would say that, you got a couple of weeks at least with it, and perfect. I love it. I love, because when I have enough for the project, I hate the thought that I have to throw away a ton of other product. So far in terms of the experiment, love this color, love this product, and I love how the little cabinet turned out. So win, win, win. Not bad. good way to start my weekend. Hope you picked up a couple of tricks. If you haven't tried the Fresco powder, then maybe that's something to put on your list and to give a shot if you're looking at doing some textured stenciling. I love doing some stencils this way so that you just add a little bit more interest. Obviously, the depth of the product is going to be driven by the thickness of the stencil, right? So however thick, because we're using the solid part of the stencil, the part that has not been cut away, as our guide, as we are removing excess product from that. So however thick your stencil is how thick this would ultimately be. So it's not super crazy, right? It's not sticking out an inch or anything, but just enough to add a little bit more definition. We had painted these out with this as we painted the top, so it was able to, again, with a brush, go on nice and smooth, and then we just glued them back in. So this is super cute little cabinet. We've got it painted all over, and you know what? Not bad safe. Oops. There we go. Now it's in there proper. Not bad safe for, what was that, $3.99? Now super cute. And it's got holes to hang it if you want to put it up on your wall. Otherwise, beautiful little tabletop. Let me know what you think of this one, guys. Love to hear from you as always. Looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Until then, take care.